Good morning. We'll call the meeting to order. And the agenda is fairly small. First call of order of business is open forum. No emails. Nobody wants to talk that's in the audience. So we'll skip on down to emergency capital request for Country Club roof repair.
So we have a request for emergency use of funds. This is for the Country Club roof. There's a flat portion on the roof that is collecting water and is dripping into the pro shop and into the restaurant area. And this got exacerbated with the recent snow, and so we need to get this fixed at a cost. We got 3 bids at a cost of $38,750. We did have the adjuster come out and look at the interior damage. We don't have the estimate in hand yet, but their preliminary estimate is that it would not meet our $10,000 deductible. So, which is good news. So it's not as extensive as it could have been. And so we are requesting a release of these funds so we can move forward with this project. Any questions? Okay, then
Before you go on, I failed to, Director Fosdick and Director Coughlin are via Zoom today. Sorry.
No problem. Next item on the agenda is we were very fortunate to receive 3 grants from the U.S. Tennis Association, national grant for $20,900, a USTA Southern grant for $8,470, and a USTA Arkansas grant for $500. And our intention is to use that on some of the crack filling. We were under the impression that it would just, since the grant was going to pay for the bulk of the work, that we would not have to set up a capital project. We were informed by accounting that that was incorrect. Unfortunately, we were informed afterwards. And so we're not asking for cash. We just need to, from an accounting point of view, set up a capital project for $34,870 for the tennis court resurfacing. This is just the crack filling and then the resurfacing, with $29,870 coming from grants and $5,000 coming from the recreational operations budget. That $5,000 was always earmarked for this because we knew we were going to be short. So once again, we're not asking for any additional funds, no use of the emergency fund, just from an accounting point of view, we need to register this as a capital project.
So we're just moving the expense to the capital side?
Yes.
Okay.
I know we've probably asked this question and talked about it before, but is this going to solve the problem, or is this just a Band-Aid?
These are quick fixes, and quite frankly, these quick fixes are lasting shorter and shorter periods as our tennis courts continue to move and shift and deteriorate.
Okay.
It works for a little while, but
What's a little while, you think? Best guess?
6 months to a year.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we used to get 18 months to 2 years out of these quick fixes, if you want, crack filling, but we're getting less and less time as they get older and older. Any questions?
I just have one comment. Knowing that this is going to come back to us again, like you say, it's temporary fix. I just saw this week a report on television that tennis is apparently in an expansion phase. In the last couple of years, it's up 10%. It's apparently not quite to the level of Sandy's pickleball, but it is in an expansion phase, and, you know, as golf is and a lot of other outdoor activities, so just something to keep in mind as we, you know, faced with these challenges.
Is that a nationwide thing or a local thing or what? Nationwide.
Next item on the agenda is, when we were developing the 26 budget, we spoke with our software company that handles our point of sale systems, and we were notified that at that time they could not, did not have the technical capability to apply a credit card surcharge on transactions, only on certain ones. So in the approval of the budget, which also we approved, the board approved the fee structure for 26, we only had certain items that we added credit card fees on, because at that time we were under the impression that TEI, our software handler, was unable to handle that. We've now been informed that they you do have that capability, and we would like to start doing this. A lot of restaurants, a lot of pro shops and so forth are doing this. This is just on credit cards. It's not on debit cards. It's not on cash and so forth. But we pay upwards of $750,000, $800,000 a year in credit card fees, and we're just trying to offset it. We're asking that the board approve a change where we would be allowed to implement a credit card surcharge to retail transactions and food and beverage transactions.
Does each entity, whether it be golf, restaurant, food, beverage, tennis, swimming pool, when there's a credit card fee or a credit card charge and a fee established for that, is that fee booked currently against that individual entity's?
No, it's not.
It goes,
No, it's not. It's too hard to identify at this time with, from the processor that sends out the fees as to which transactions it's for, to book it to the certain divisions. So it's booked to general income right now.
okay,
But as we, you know, work through that with them on this new technology process, maybe that'll be something we can look, you know, see if that's possible going forward with this.
so in the future, it may be that
We can look at it and see.
They don't-
If it's
yeah.
possible, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
so they don't look like they have a penalty because of a credit card charge.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. All the credit card process charges for the POA division
Okay,
are charged to general income department, not to rec, not to golf, and
okay,
so forth.
okay. And then, second question. We have $100 charge. We add $3 for the credit card fee. It's $103. There's still gonna be a small couple of pennies that are gonna be hanging out there
Yeah,
based on that extra $3 charge.
right,
So, but it should be minuscule compared to what's currently going on. Okay.
correct.
All right.
We're not allowed legally to charge any more than what our cost is. So we'll do our best to compute what that is on an average transaction and but I think the board has spoken that maybe not more than, you know, the 3%. So there will probably be an extra. And also, just to correct what I said earlier, there are a few instances of credit card charges that don't flow through TEI, that flow through another system, like Camp Spot and the RV park is one where we can identify what the credit card process charges are for, what division, and those are being booked to this the division, but those are much less significant than the overall picture from TEI.
I think it's interesting because most companies aren't gonna be able to afford to eat this expense, right? And this is, if you're talking about $800,000, that's a pretty high price tag. And I think I've been really looking around the last week. I don't see a lot of places, but I do see some that are doing this. But I think at the end of the day, they're probably calculating this expense into their costs anyway. So the consumer is still paying it, just isn't thinking about what it is they are paying.
Yeah, the sale price, yeah.
And so I think doing it this way and making sure that our members and our guests are very well aware that we're going to do this provides them the option to make a decision on their own on the way they want to pay. So it's just another thing to think through.
And one other clarification for anybody listening who doesn't know is that Beth pointed out that this is not debit cards, that's not allowed, that it's just the credit cards.
Correct.
Although there are still companies out there that are getting it right. They're still charging for debits.
Well, all those credit card points cards that we all love, well, the money's got to come from somewhere, and that's why the fees are so high. I mean, so it's you don't get the points for free. So,
Sandy, Deborah, or Kathleen, did you have anything to add? No? Okay.
next on the agenda is modifications to policy 5.05. Boat registration and mooring lease agreement. Keep in mind that the intent of this change is really for 27, but to begin notifying our property owners right away. Also, if the board doesn't have a lengthy discussion about this, encourage you to look back at the Rules and Regulations Committee meeting in January, and then the work session and regular session. So the board at this point has seen this 3 and 4 times, so if they don't have a large discussion, that's why. This would be the second and final reading for this change in the policy 5.05. Any questions? And this information, the policy is available on our website, so if you are at home and want to look at it, you can go see what the red line changes are.
I have, if nobody has anything they want to say about that, something we didn't mention on the roof repairs that was mentioned last week from Heath. We're not just resurfacing the roof, we're actually going to, this money would add crickets in and try to help this from being a problem that develops again down the road. So I wanted to make that publicly aware.
Good addition, yeah.
On this policy change, the majority of it is just requiring liability insurance coverage, right? I mean, that's.
But we're also moving forward the timing of it.
Right.
If you recall, the intent of this is trying to encourage people, because there's a tendency with some people to wait until the deadline to pay, you know, and they're also waiting for the boating season to begin. And unfortunately, if we wait that long, all the way until March, at the end of March, then when a person says, well, no, I'm not going to lease the mooring slip at Loch Lomond, well, then we have to try and find someone to replace that. We don't back charge them for the 3 months that went unused. And so it's just, we're just trying to encourage people to make those decisions earlier, and let us know, and that way we can fill those slips so they don't go unused.
Perfect, thank you. That's the end of the regular agenda. Does anybody have anything else they would like to discuss? Yeah, Bob?
I just, one observation. I caddied for my golf group on Monday at Kingswood. We finished about 3 o'clock, and of course, we have to settle up. You know what settle up, you know. Mm-hmm. And so we went into the bar area, and we actually sat at the patio, which is spectacular on a day like that. The bar was full. There were 4 or 5 tables inside that had people at them that were golfers. Everybody was enjoying an adult beverage or a soft drink. we pretty much filled the outdoor patio. And it was sad to me that at about 10 to 4, most everybody got up. And I went over to JJ's with a number of my group. Probably 60% of the people that were in our bar moved over to another bar. And just as an observation, would seem to me that we're missing out on some opportunity to continue to serve our clients, whether we have food or not available, by closing that bar during the golf season so early when we still have sunlight out. So, observation.
Glad to hear it was full. Anything else? Kathleen, Sandy?
All good, thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll go into announcements. The Board of Directors' regular session is next Thursday, February 26th at 6 p.m. in the boardroom and live stream, as all these will be unless otherwise noted. This will also, the election committee will draw and release the names of the board candidates, board director candidates. Recreation JAC is Monday, March 9th at 4 p.m. Lakes JAC is Wednesday, March 11th at 2 p.m. Golf follows that on Wednesday, March 11th at 4 p.m. Next Board of Directors GM meeting, which is a closed meeting, is Thursday, March 12th at 2:30. Meet the candidates running for the board is Monday, March 16th, 6 p.m. at Bella Vista Recreation Center at Reardon, and also live stream. Board of Directors next work session is March 19th at 9, and our March regular session is March 26th at 6. If we don't have anything else, we're adjourned.